Hello and welcome to my channel. Excuse the lighting and the angle, but we are filming a reading vlog this week. So tomorrow officially starts the first day of Camp Spoopathon, which is a week-long readathon where basically you try to read some spooky books and follow prompts. So with Camp Spoopathon, there are two paths that you could choose to take, which will take you to a couple of different prompts. And I chose to go for the even number route, which gave me 4 prompts to complete. The first one is Ghosts, which I'll be reading The Dead Romantics for. The next one, I have an ebook copy of Payback's a Witch. The third one is Murder, which I'll be reading A Serial Killer's Daughter for. And the last one is Thrilling, which I will be reading the Final Girl Support Group for. I have already started The Dead Romantics just a little bit. I started earlier today just because I'm kind of between books at the moment. I did manage to finish everything that I wanted to read in July with like 1 day to spare. So I have already started this one, so I'm stretching it just a little bit. And I feel like it's okay because tomorrow I'm not sure how much reading I'm actually going to get done, considering even though I'm off of work, a friend of mine and I are going up to the lake and we're going to spend the day in the water and enjoying this heat wave that doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. As of tonight, I am officially off of work for the night, so I think it's just going I would love to say it's going to be a chill reading night. However, I think Benson really wants me to watch some of the videos that he has edited for me so that we can get those approved and hopefully uploaded sometime soon, just because some of them I filmed a long time ago, so they should probably be going up fairly soon. So we will see what I feel like doing, if I just want to sit down and get those videos some of those videos out of the way and then spend the rest of my night reading, or if I just want to read. No matter what I do, I will definitely check back in with you tomorrow.
This lighting is terrible.
Yeah, it's a little shitty, but
I don't
this
like
is
it.
the best angle I can get in this.
And also the air conditioning is going off. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
it's
this
a
is an
vlog.
editor's
It's not like
nightmare.
that. Oh my goodness, you are fine.
Okay. I'm seriously concerned about your skin, but please continue.
I'm fine.
I
got a little sun today.
It looks like an allergic reaction.
It
How
is
did not
not.
everything tan?
Because I'm the whitest of white. Anyway, it is the first official day of Spoopathon, Camp Spoopathon. And as I told you last night, I definitely did not get any reading done today at all. I went to the lake with a friend, which you would have seen a little bit of footage of, and then I came home and Benson and I were supposed to watch Back to the Future.
Which we didn't.
Which we didn't end up doing because I thought it was on Netflix. It is not on Netflix.
They took it off, I'm pretty sure.
So we have to find that at some point, because I do have to read it before I read another book this month, which I have to read after I finish The Dead Romantics. But we ended up watching Schitt's Creek instead, and this will be my third time watching it through, but Benson's first time. What do you think of it so far?
I don't like most of the characters. It's all right.
We only made it to episode 6.
Listen. If it's basically The Office awkward humor. That's literally it. So if that's your thing, then you might like it. Except it doesn't have as much of like a wider cast of charm. Everyone's an asshole at first, except for Stevie. And Jocelyn. Both are my favorite because they're at least nice. Jocelyn's a bit.
Jocelyn?
She's a sweetheart, albeit a cult sweetheart, but a sweetheart. Other than that, they're taking getting used to. I will admit, David is warming up the most for me. Very relatable in some ways. I like having panic attacks and not sleeping until 4 a.m. really. That's my favorite part of life. But yeah, it's all right so far. It's not the greatest I've seen so far, but I'm told it gets better.
It does. I think it does. The characters definitely do.
I like a good character arc.
I'm not going to read any more of The Dead Romantics tonight. I don't think I actually told you all what this is about, but I'm already like 75 pages through with it. So I've definitely got a good amount done before the first day started.
She cheated.
I started early because I already told you guys this, but I started early because I was in between books, and I think that's okay. But I probably will get a head start on my second prompt, which is read a book at night, and for that I'm reading Payback's a Witch, which is basically a story about a woman who comes back to her hometown and gets pulled into a situation where she's trying to get revenge on her ex with 2 other witches, and it's an interesting in theory.
Is this all you needed me for? My feet are starting to fall asleep. Bye, everybody. See you in like 5 seconds. Oh, my feet.
But I'll probably just do that. Like I said, I have the ebook for it. I do work tomorrow and pretty much every day for the rest of the week. So we'll see how much reading and or updating I get done. I don't think I told you the first time I updated, but this vlog is going to be a little bit of a mix between Camp Spoopathon as well as the Magical Readathon, because Camp Spoopathon I have to read the prompts in order, but there are also some prompts that I have to read in order for the Magical Readathon. So some of the books that I have for Camp Spoopathon I can't read until I finish some of the books that I have to read for the Magical Readathon. So it's not just the 4 books that I talked about at the beginning. We will be intersplicing a couple of them, including William Shakespeare's Get Thee Back to the Future, which is like a reimagining of Back to the Future, which is why we need to watch Back to the Future at some point very soon.
I laid on the bed without knocking the phone over.
I'm very proud of you.
For
Good
a big
job.
boy like me, that's a big accomplishment.
You are not that big.
I'm a big boy. Woof.
I will try and update tomorrow, hopefully with some more reading before I go into work.
She's gonna forget.
I will not forget.
We're going to see Reese tomorrow.
Oh,
For a few minutes at least. Actually, I'll go down, I'll give her your regards, and you can keep reading. Because I'm a good friend.
Excuse me?
What?
A good friend?
Reese? We're like home people at this point. I'm like homeboys with like all the people at this...
me!
You're my fiance, that doesn't count.
I think that's what I was saying, a good friend?
Let me tell you about my wife. I don't know, it's the moment's gone. Moment's gone. I'm not funny.
Okay.
I'm not funny. End the fucking vlog before I die.
Bye. I'll see you tomorrow. Hello! It is day 2 of Spoopathon. It's probably going to seem like no time has passed for you, but it has been a full 24 hours for me. And I did just want to let you know that instead of reading Payback's a Witch for my second book, for the ebook that I was reading, I ended up swapping that. It's not that I kind of wasn't enjoying it, wasn't really having a good time with it, and it seemed too similar to the Dead Romantics. So it was kind of getting hard to differentiate the two, except I was liking The Dead Romantics a lot better, so I decided to continue on with that one over Payback's Witch, and maybe I'll go back to that at some point. I also wanted to give you an actual reading update, because all I've been giving you are like life updates and talking about my TBR. So as far as reading updates, I'm about almost halfway through The Undead Romantics, or not The Undead Romantics, The Dead Romantics, and I am loving it. It is, I will say, it is not the most groundbreaking book I've ever read. It's not the most groundbreaking romance I've ever read, but I think it's the book that I need right now. It's super cute, and I don't think I actually talked about what this is about, but we were following Florence, whose father just passed away, and she is called back to this town that she's kind of estranged from, and then she sees the ghost of her new boss. So she kind of has to help him move on, and she's struggling with being back in town, as well as the fact that she has the ability to see ghosts, which it doesn't exactly say it on the back, so it's not really a spoiler, but we find out pretty early on, and I'm loving it because it's exactly what I need right now, something cute and light, and it's not all about the romance. We're getting a deep dive into her. So she is a ghostwriter for one of the most famous romance authors, and she's struggling with that after her last breakup, and all of these things happening at once, her father passing away and having to go back to this town that kind of ostracized her. And it's more about Florence and her journey, and her journey as an author, and coming to terms with being back in town and dealing with the fact that she can see ghosts, as well as a little bit of romance with her now dead boss. And honestly, I think it's a little predictable if it goes in the direction that I think it's gonna go. It is definitely predictable, but it's the direction that I kind of hope it's going to go into, and if not, I'll probably still end up liking the book, just probably not as much. So Benson's actually going to start streaming in a little bit for his first time in a while. I mean, he has done a couple of charity streams lately, but this will be his first time streaming in quite a little bit. He was on vacation in June and July, and he's finally coming back to streaming full time, so he's super excited about that. So I'm gonna put on his stream in the background and read some more of The Dead Romantics, and hopefully talk to y'all tomorrow. I don't really have to, but I'm gonna be sitting with the dogs downstairs. I don't think y'all have met Maui yet, but maybe I'll get some footage of Maui. He's our new puppy who we don't really want him to move, explore too much of the house because it's such a big house since he's such a small dog. But so I'm gonna be sitting down with them tomorrow, between taking them outside and all that. So I'll try to get some reading done tomorrow then, and hopefully talk to you. I do work tomorrow and I do work Thursday, but I just made plans with my sister on Friday, so we're gonna hang out on Friday and do maybe some crafting. I think I'm gonna bring my adult coloring books, and we're gonna listen to some audiobooks. Yeah, so that'll be really nice. Next time we talk, hopefully I'll have a little bit more of an update on The Dead Romantics, because I'm hoping to finish that between tonight and tomorrow, so that I can actually move on with more of Camp Spoopathon, because I am definitely behind where I want to be. But I'll see you all either later or tomorrow morning. Goodbye. gonna go in. Come on. Come on now. Hello. I didn't talk to you all at all on yesterday. It is now Thursday, and it is so far the hottest day of the season. So we are in a little bit of an angle, or a weird angle, because I'm downstairs with the dogs trying to make sure they keep cool, and we don't have to leave Maui out of his crate. You can't really see him, but he's sitting right there. You want to say hi? And Bear's right here. They're just chilling. We are sitting downstairs. I haven't read anything today. I've really just been watching BookTube, but I did get a decent chunk into The Dead Romantics. I'm almost done. I have less than 100 pages left, and I adore this book. Still hoping it goes the way that I want it to, but I don't think, like with me, and certain endings can ruin a book very, very quickly, even if I love it all the way through. If I don't like the ending or am not satisfied with the ending, then that can ruin the rest of the 300 pages. But I don't think, even if it doesn't go the way that I want it to, I don't think that's going to hinder my enjoyment of it. My next book is a little bit still on the fence. So instead of the second prompt after Ghostly is to read a book at night. It is still broad daylight, and I'm probably, if I finish, I'm probably going to start reading in a little while. And if I finish that before it gets light out, then I'm going to move on to my second book, which I have already started. So instead of making it a read at night book, I'm just going to make it a read in the dark prompt and try and get this room as close to dark as I can, and then just read the audiobook. So I did get, it's called Halloween Fiend by C.V. Hunt on Kindle Unlimited, and it's like 112 pages. I just wanted something short so I could get through this readathon a little bit. And so far, okay, I don't know what it is about horror books. For some reason, at least in my experience, a lot of horror novels decide that they need to make comments about women's bodies for some reason. So in the first, I'm literally on page 10, and we are reading from the perspective of a male character. It's about, has this concept of if Halloween was personified, and that it's kind of like terrorizing the town, which is like honestly a really cool premise. But we're reading from the perspective of a male, and I do not know the author's pronouns. They're not listed anywhere, so I don't know. I mean, I have read a couple of reviews, and they all refer to the author as she. So if that is the case, and we're trying to get into the perspective of a male character, it's not working very well. So I don't have the exact quote in front of me because it's on my phone and you are on my phone, but basically in the first 10 pages, we pass by a female character and he says something along the lines of, I don't think she sees me, which is good because I know being in her presence is just going to be like awkward. It's going to get me tongue-tied. And then goes on to say, I walk right past her and use the additional time walking past the window to stare at her cleavage, which is unnecessary to the story in so many ways. And with me, or at least in the experience that I have read, I don't read many horror books, but in the experience where I have read horror novels, that happens a lot, and it feels so unnecessary. It's not necessary to the plot. There's no reason for it to be in the book other than to say, hey, I'm a man and I have manly feelings. Completely understand if you disagree, and maybe put your insight about that in the comments so we can chat about it, but it just annoys me. I am going to continue on with it because it's literally only 112 pages and I need something quick so that I can actually move along from the first two prompts in this readathon, because I've been stuck on those for a while. I've literally been working every single day this week. I woke up not feeling too great, so I'm not going to work this morning, so I do have all day today to read. And as I mentioned in my last update, I'm going to hang out with my sister tomorrow. Hopefully I feel a little better. We're gonna go hang out and do some arts and crafts and listen to some audiobooks, and hopefully the next time that I talk to you I will actually have finished at least one of these. Alright, it is officially past the last day of Camp Spoopathon, and I haven't read. Okay, so what I did not explain when I was explaining Camp Spoopathon is basically every prompt is a certain amount of points, and you need a certain amount of points to pass the killer on the path, and then make it to the cabin. And if you make it to the cabin, you survive Camp Spoopathon, and if you don't, then you die. Guess which one I did? So basically by the time that I finished the 3 books that I have read, which I will update, well, I'll talk about a little bit more in a minute, I had 2 books left to go, or 2 prompts left to go, and I could have fit them both into one book, because I am in the middle of, hold on. I did start the final girl support group, but I didn't finish it. I was only less than 100 pages, I was only 103 pages into it by the time that it ended. I probably realistically could have finished tonight because I got out of work at 9:30, so that was still a few hours, and honestly this is a pretty quick read, so I probably could have finished it before midnight. However, I just got some pretty bad news family-wise, so I wasn't really in the mood to read tonight. I'm still not really in the mood to read tonight, but I thought I would just give you guys a little bit of an outro, letting you know what I actually did manage to finish reading. So I did finish The Dead Romantics, and as predicted, this is a 5 out of 5 star read. I loved every minute of it. There were a couple times that I thought maybe I would lower the rating just because her inner monologue started to get a bit repetitive in places, and that was kind of taking me out of the story. But overall, when I finished it, it felt like a 5 out of 5 star read. I wasn't expecting to love this as much as I did. Usually with ghost romances, I have a hard time getting into them, basically because I know they're gonna break my heart in the end, but I loved this so much. It broke my heart in all the right places, but it also just gave me the most heartwarming feeling in the rest of them. So I love this, and I would definitely recommend it. 5 out of 5 stars. Will read again. This author has rarely disappointed me, so I shouldn't have been surprised. But then we went from there down to the path of prompt 2, which I downloaded the ebook of a book called Halloween Fiend. And I had never heard of it before. I basically was just looking for something short that I could get through, and I found that it was on Kindle Unlimited, so I downloaded it, and I did not enjoy this. Basically this is basically set in a world where Halloween is personified, and we get to see the mayhem that it creates, and I just didn't care. I didn't care about our main character. I didn't care about the people in this town. They were all really unlikable. And as I've said before on this channel, I can handle unlikable characters, but I have to feel something towards them, and I just didn't feel anything for any of these characters whatsoever. I felt like it would have been probably cooler if we got to read from the perspective of Halloween and basically discover why it's doing the things that it's doing. But we didn't really get anything from that, which was just really disappointing to me. I don't know. I don't feel like it was scary, and that was kind of what I was looking for, something short and spooky. but I just didn't care. At the end of the book, I was kind of rooting for them all to die, if I'm being honest. And maybe that has something to do with the fact that it was only 106 pages. Maybe I would have liked it more if the world was more fleshed out, if the characters were more fleshed out, if it wasn't just a short novella. And then in order to proceed onto the path and pass the murderer, I needed one more short book that could fill that prompt. So I picked up the next volume in the Witcher series, which is Fox Children. And in this one, we're basically on a boat and we're trying to fight, what's it called? A Vulpes? Vulpess. And basically her daughter is kidnapped by these guys that the Witcher is sailing with. So he has to deal with the repercussions of that when he's stuck around stupid people. And I don't think I like this as much as the first one. I don't feel like the plot twist was as good. The illustrations are still gorgeous. So this is an entire omnibus of all of them, and I'm just reading the volumes one at a time throughout this. I just don't feel like the story was as captivating, and I was really just reading this one to get through the readathon. I think I just liked the first one more. The story was more captivating and I was more on the edge of my seat, but not so much with the second volume. I think I was just reading it to get through the readathon. And from there, like I said, I did start the Final Girl support group. I was gonna read the audiobook for A Serial Killer's Daughter. I had a whole night planned with my sister to do like an arts and crafts night, and we were gonna listen to our audiobooks, but then I realized that my sister is a very talkative human being. So we didn't get any audiobooks listened to. We ended up watching Halloween Town and Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire on Disney Plus instead of actually doing any reading. So I didn't get any more reading other than those 3 books done, which I'm still pretty satisfied with. I think it was a decent week overall, and it's only going to get better from here because I still have 2 readathons, well technically 3 readathons that I'm participating in. One of them counts more towards a page count than actual books read, so I'm not counting that one, but I do have 2 other readathons that I need to get through this month, so you will be seeing another vlog very, very soon. Like as soon as I finish this outro, I will be jumping into second vlog right away. Overall, I am really happy with this week. I think I got a lot done, as well as hanging out with people. Like summer's turning out to be a lot busier than usual, and I'm honestly really, really excited about that. But thank you all so much for watching this vlog. If you stayed this long, I appreciate you so, so much. And I hope you all are having a great reading week, as well as just a great week in general. And again, thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.